Hello, everybody. What is going on? Thank you so much for tuning into the Queen's Lounge podcast. Welcome to the lounge. I am your homegirl, Shay, and of course, I have a special guest with me on today. None other than my Auntie Shonda. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Awesome. I am doing fabulous. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, same. Yes,
Awesome. You
ma'am.
look good.
Thank you. Thank
You are
you.
so welcome. So, listen, today we are going to chop it up a little bit about self confidence. My aunt is a person that knows all too well about rebuilding your confidence because of various situations and things that may deter your self confidence, things that may get you away from your self confidence. So, we're just going to dive into it a little bit today. But first thing is first, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and let you all know who she is. Auntie, you got the floor.
Lord Jesus, who am I? Well, hi everyone. I am Shonda Lashay Grant. On Facebook, I'm Shonda Lashay. But if you've seen my face before, you may know me from InspiraShon. So I do a podcast as well as like a YouTube channel. Kind of going through my surgery story and just sharing some things about myself and just being transparent with the people to help whomever it may help in whatever circumstances they may be in. So
I love that. It's one thing that I can admire about people that are really close to me, and that's transparency. Because I think that we
mm,
are in a time and day now where people just don't want to just hear you talk about it, but they kind of want to see your life panned out. You know what I mean? They
mm-hmm.
kind of want to see what transparency looks like. And so to be able
Right.
to tell a story about your not only your experience, but to be transparent completely about it is awesome. So
Exactly.
recently, as of the earlier part of this year, you had a big surgery that you went through. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So in January 24th, I believe is the date of 2022, I decided to have weight loss surgery and had decided to do this years back, 2018, but I wasn't quite ready then because I was healing from some other things that I needed
Uh-huh.
to like put my focus in. And so you know what, this is not the time. This is let me get this right. Let me get this
Right,
right.
right,
And
right.
then I can let my body. So that's what I did. And once well, you know what? Let me back up because where 2018 ended or where that started was the reason why it was so important for 2022.
Uh-huh.
So let me back up. So 2018, I was getting a divorce,
Uh-huh.
and there was a lot that I was dealing with emotionally, physically, um, all of that, financial, like whatever
Yeah.
you can be in,
Yes. I
you was
understand.
in.
Yeah,
Uh,
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
2018, I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm not quite ready for the surgery yet, but I do want to do it. But I don't think this is the time, Shonda. So I had to reconcile with myself, and I pushed it until I was ready. Didn't know when that was gonna be. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
know when God was gonna give me that. Fast forward a few years, about 3 years to about 3 years later, actually, I ended up healing very well. I had a lot of time with God. I had a lot
That's
of time with
awesome.
myself,
Yes.
and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned me. Before I even had the surgery, I always told my mom, I got to learn how to love me first before I even decide to lose weight. And that's really
Absolutely.
everything I did. The time frame of me like noticing that I was a little too heavy because I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
always that size that I was, to the time frame of me changing it and doing everything. I still had to love me. Like it was no way around that. You still
Yes.
have to find yourself, right? So I did that work. It's a daily process, it's not overnight. And then ended up meeting my fiance, and
Hey.
and so we dated, and he asked me to marry him about 7, 8 months into the relationship.
I love it.
Um,
When you know,
and
you
so,
know.
oh, and he older,
Listen.
so he knew,
Yes.
right? Uh, knew he didn't want to lose me, so I
Period.
said, all
Okay.
right, well,
He knew real quick.
okay. And so with that new chapter, well, it's not even a really new chapter; it's like a new book. So with
Mm-hmm.
that new book, I didn't want to enter into that book the way I was in the old me.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I had to transform more than just my mind and my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to transform my body too. Because I
Yes.
wanted to enjoy it. And I was having like lots of health problems and stuff like that. And I believe that a lot of that was attributed to the weight that I was carrying.
Uh-huh.
So that's when I decided to do it. And he was a huge support. My family has always been a huge support of it.
Yes.
And they were just like waiting on me to make a decision. But I was grateful when I talked to him about that. And the first thing he said to me was, well, I love you now. Like I met you the way I loved you. So regardless of if you do it or not, I'm
Right.
okay. And I appreciated that because at the end of the day, I was going to talk to him about it, but it ultimately was my decision. I had to do
Right.
this for Shonda, not
Right.
for anybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, that is when I took my journey. And girl, man, it has been a roller coaster.
I'm sure. I'm sure it has been. One thing that I love that you said was that it was you loving yourself where you were. Because I think a lot of women get confused or it's like a blurred line because it's always done for
Mm-hmm.
someone else and
Yeah,
they don't take the time out to love themselves where they are. And so for you to
yeah,
recognize that you needed to do that
yeah,
first where you are before making the transition to be a better you. That's one thing I
yeah,
love and one thing I admire because it was solely for you and not for anybody
yeah.
else. So I
Mm-mm.
definitely like that part of it. And to have a support system, you know what I mean? That's another
Yeah,
important factor because any type of
yeah,
surgery you go through is going to be big. Any type of surgery that
yeah.
they have to cut on you and go in and
Mm-hmm.
do certain things is going to be major, and you're going to definitely need the support system. So to have people in your corner,
Yeah,
that stood by you before and after and are continuing to do it. So that's the most important part. And then not only that, but your fiance, okay? Period. The fact that he stepped in a big way and really
yeah.
supported and just loved you where you were, but were going to
He
love you
did.
even more where you wanted to be at.
Right,
That's
right,
awesome.
right.
That's definitely
Yeah.
awesome. So give me a little information on where your self-confidence was then,
Woo.
trying
Ooh.
to love yourself or trying to figure out, okay, where to go from now, because I'm at this place where I'm going through so many things that's kind of weighing on my self-confidence. So now I need to figure out what to do from here. So where was your
Yeah.
self-confidence then?
Then you talking about now, let me make sure I got it right because I can give you some stories. Are we speaking of 2018? Are we
Yes,
speaking of
ma'am.
2020? Okay.
We're
So
speaking of 2018.
2018.
So when your journey
Woo.
began, when your self-confidence journey had to restart, reboot.
Yeah. That was rough because
Yeah.
things that people don't understand about divorce
Oh my
is that
gosh.
you feel like damaged goods depending on what happened to you.
Yes.
On why y'all separated, depending on why
Right.
the marriage ended the way it did, or the death happened right the way it
Uh-huh.
did. And so that for me was a big, huge deal because
Mm-hmm.
it affected me. I was already working on my self-confidence. I was already working on loving me more. I was already doing all that, which in a lot of ways I think may have been some of my problems in the
Mm-hmm.
marriage because I was putting myself first and I had lost me.
Yeah.
Um significantly lost me. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I noticed that I was losing myself and I started putting more effort into, hey, I need to pay attention to this, I need to pay attention to that. That is when I noticed that things started really going downhill. And
Yeah.
that part of it was a little rough for me. So during 2018, and once we had made that decision, and girl, let me tell you something. It's funny how quick you go from, okay, I'm good this day, I'm bad this day. I had a victory this day. Today is not a good day.
It's an
That's how it
emotional roller
was.
coaster.
It really is.
Yes. It's an
And that's
emotional roller
exactly where
coaster.
I was, man. Like, I remember getting my first place on my own ever for the first time ever in life.
Uh-huh.
Never did that before. That was a
No.
victory, right? That
That's
was a
amazing.
self-confidence booster, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But, then it comes the days where you used to having a whole family
Uh-huh.
and you don't, or there's the days where you want to get dressed up and be cute, but you don't have nobody to tell you that you're cute today. Or,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? There's things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so those are like minute points, but it's giving the example of the up and down of what I
Right.
had to go through. And
Right.
yeah, it started there. I did a lot of praying. I did seek counsel.
Oh,
I went
good.
to therapy, and I still am in therapy. I think therapy is really good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically my situation, I felt like I needed to not only verbalize what I was dealing with, but also be reminded of certain things that I needed to remind myself because I was forgetting, right?
Yes.
So I was forgetting that regardless of how I'm feeling right now, God still loves me. I was forgetting that, okay, yes, this is a hard time, and yes, it might be hard to pray through it, but pray anyway. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you have to scream and you have to yell and you have to like dang near feel like you cussing God out. And I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but for real,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're hurting like that, that's how I felt. And that's how it feels is that you're not understanding. Like, God, you sent me this man. Or at least I thought you did. Now I'm confused. Like, am I
Yeah.
missing you?
Yeah.
Are you like, you know what I'm saying? So there was a
Uh-huh.
lot that I worked through in order to get myself to the place I needed to be. And when God got me there, whew, and
Listen.
then it was the
Okay.
next level.
Yes.
Okay, because then the next level and then the next level. So it was a process. It was a process. And I'm still not done because
Mm-hmm.
you still get triggered. You still go through certain things, even when you get in a relationship after the storm. Then you start
Yes.
seeing that, okay, now I'm being triggered by stuff that I used to deal with. I can't do
Right.
that. I can't bring that baggage here. So now I got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's a process and it's nothing overnight. But I had to learn how to love myself and I had to learn how to self care.
I
And
love
that was
that.
the two
I love
things
that.
that I had to learn during 2018, 19, 20.
I love
I had
that.
to learn the self care.
I love
Yes.
that. One thing I love that you said is it's an ongoing thing. And I think one thing that I love about self-confidence is it's always something that we're doing. It's always something
Mm-hmm.
that we're striving to continue to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to feel like you got self-confidence down pat. It's one thing to have that significant other in your life that's telling you all the things that you want to hear. You know what I mean? All the things that you already
Mm-hmm.
know, but you just need them
Yep.
to go ahead and just, put a stamp on it. And then when
Right.
stuff happens or when life happens, it's amazing how the confidence or self-confidence you feel like you had all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
dissipates. You know what I mean? Or all
Right.
of a sudden
Yep.
kind of dims. And you're like, okay, well, wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute. I was
Yep.
this self-confident person, self-assured person. And then here it is,
Mm-hmm.
life knocked me upside the head real hard.
See, come on.
Okay. Real hard. And now that it knocked me upside the head, I'm starting to self-doubt myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to really,
Mm-hmm.
think about did I really have the self-confidence I thought I did? And
Come on.
then, it starts to weigh on your mental. And then it
Yes.
starts to affect other things in your life. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so to hear you say that
Yep.
it's still something that you're working on, it's still something that you're, putting your best foot forward in. I love that. So let me ask you
Yeah.
this question. When does self-confidence start?
Whew. So for me, um, I started noticing, like I told you, I was losing myself and I was trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out where am I? Who am I? I'm more than a mom. I'm more than a
Yes.
wife. But who am I? Because I have
Mm-hmm.
lost me and I don't know who it is. So it's the craziest thing. But I started selfies of myself.
Ooh,
Random, right?
I love pictures.
Random. Yes. I
I
love them
love
now.
pics.
Honey, I was not a picture person then. Like not at the size I was. I didn't care nothing about looking at myself. And I remember the first couple of like photo shootish selfie type shots I took of myself. It was because I thought I was cute with this vibe I
Yes.
had. And
Yes.
so I was like, okay, this is cool. I should do this more often because I see this. I want to change that. Do I really like my hair? How do I want to wear my hair next time? Do I like my hair long? Do I like my hair short? Do I want to wear makeup like this? Do I want to wear makeup like that? Like I really
Uh-huh.
was getting back in touch with myself. And so the selfies was helping me to like really look at myself, self-evaluate, and then be
Yeah.
like, okay, so I don't like this, so I can change this, but what do I want to change it to? Well, I like this, so let's not mess with that. That's what I really did.
That's
I know it
awesome.
sounds so crazy, but
No, it does
that is
not.
literally.
No, it does not. And that gives me a whole nother perspective on selfies. Because I just love selfies just for the simple fact I like being in the camera. Growing up, my mom kept me and my brother in the camera. Pictures for school, family pictures. And so as I got older, I just kind of stuck with that. But now I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to be like, okay, well, wait a minute. The light wasn't good on this one. I'm gonna have to tweak that brow a little bit. I'm gonna have to put a little
Mhm.
lash on this. I like that. That's a
Do I
really
like
good
this
way.
pose? Do I like that pose? Do I
Exactly.
like when I tilt this way? Yes, girl. Like it
Exactly.
helped me. It helped me.
I love that. That's a good way to look at that. Okay, now what about this one? How was confidence built?
So I think I've always had it. And I think what happens is that you lose it or you let it dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe that the God I serve has always told me that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So
Absolutely.
I don't have to wonder if it's built. I just have to trust that it's there. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I have to nurture it, right? So anything that
Correct.
if you have faith, then you have to nurture your faith. You can't just say I got faith and then you don't read your word or you don't listen to a sermon or you don't, pray or any of that stuff. You have to nurture it.
Absolutely.
So just like that, I had to nurture, okay, well, I have self-confidence, but where is it? What level am I at? How much do I need to feel? How much do I need to be humble? How much do I need to be self-confident? Like
Mm-hmm.
where is my line and where am I? And that when I started realizing that is when, I started rebuilding. That's
Mm-hmm.
when I was able to say, okay, that's where it started. This is where I'm going. How far
Yes.
do I want to go in it? Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Another question I want to ask is, what does self-confidence look like? And the reason why I want to ask that is because oftentimes we'll look at people and think that they have it. And then when you really get to know them, or when you are close to people in your circle and you think they have it, and then you find out the flaws, and you find out the things that they're not happy with, the things that they want to
Yeah.
change, the things that they
Yeah.
want to go get operated on. And you're like, well, wow, looking at you or being the person on the outside, it looks to appear that you are just this confident person. And then come
Mm-hmm.
to find out, there are, a lot of things about yourself that you are just unhappy with. So for
Yeah.
you, what does self confidence look like?
For me, um, in addition to the selfies, I remember around maybe 2019, I did my first vision board. Okay.
Oh,
I've always had something in my head of where I wanted to be, who I wanted to kind of model my body after if I was to lose weight or fix it up listen, I've always been curvy. I've been like a slim thick, but that was
uh-huh.
high school. But I've always been a curvy. So I never had a problem with being curvy. I didn't even want to I'm literally
That's
eating
them
cookies and stuff
genetics.
now just so that I could keep certain curves because I do not want to
Yes.
go too far left.
Right,
But
right.
you say, but at the same time, can't go. But say that I started looking at certain women that I wanted to pattern my body after,
Uh-huh.
whether that's right or wrong. But that for me, it works
Yes.
because when I looked at what self confidence looked like for me, it was a mixture of things. It's how I feel about my body on the outside. It's how I look at my clothes. It's how I feel about myself on the inside. It's who I am mentally.
Mm-hmm.
It's being my authentic self all the time. And if I can't do that, that's a problem. And I'm learning
Right.
every day to be more of my authentic self and not somebody that is people pleasing for everybody else. That's a
Uh-huh.
problem for me.
So you
Yeah.
mentioned that when doing a vision board, there were certain clips or, pictures that you put on your vision board that you looked up to. So give us at least a person or two, if you don't mind, who you look
It's a
to for
model.
inspiration.
A model. And I can't remember what model it was. I don't know her, but she was gorgeous. Had these gorgeous legs. She was thick, but she had these gorgeous legs. But I'm gonna tell you one that you're gonna laugh at. It's two women in particular. Coco, Ice Cube's wife.
Really?
Girl, when I first started working out, I knew I wasn't gonna never have all this. But she was shaped like me at the bottom a little bit. And I was like, I would love to have a shape like her. There's a lot of just anything with the Coke bottle shape that was
Uh-huh.
fit and trim. That's what I was looking at. Jill Scott was another one. Like
I
I
love me some Jill.
I'm girl,
Love me some
honey.
Jill. Mm. We on a first name basis. I call her Jill.
Yeah, honey, that's auntie.
Not
Okay,
Jill Scott. That's Jill.
that's Jill.
Yes,
I
that's
am her
Jill.
niece.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know, but she is another one that I love her confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to exude that in so many different ways. Like I look at different women and I admire certain things about them. I love and I can always find something in a woman that I admire about them. You're supposed to be. We're supposed to love on each other like that. So I try to all the time find something that I love about some women that I'm meeting or I'm in my circle or in my network or whatever the case may be, that I just truly love about them, whether it's their personality or their body type or their eyes or whatever it is. All of that, can be transformed and put up here. So you're like, okay, I admire that beauty. I got a little bit of that. How can I exude that? How can I give that today? So that's all. It was just real simple like that.
I
Nothing
like that.
big.
Why is self-confidence important?
I believe it's important because in your daily day, girl, I deal with some stuff. Like I'm a manager by trade, and I'm in staffing. If you don't have self-confidence, yes. And if I didn't have self-confidence, sales is a little bit involved in staffing. People don't realize that, but it is. You got to sell the company. You got to sell your company. You got to sell the other company that you're staffing for. You got to sell yourself to the people. And then it's like, if you can't do that and be confident about what you're doing, they may not believe, that this might be the right fit for me or this might not, and it's not me because I'm honest. If it's not going to fit for you, I'm going to tell you. But I do have to, make them understand this is a great company. These are great companies that you can work for, all that. So if I didn't have my self-confidence, I couldn't be a mom.
Yeah.
I couldn't be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be the employee that I am. I couldn't do any of those things. I couldn't be a good friend, a good sister, because I need to be confident in who I am so that I can project that to the world.
Absolutely. I love that. I never really dawned on the self-confidence thing being a part of a job. You know what I mean? Of course you got to be confident, but to have the position of management, to have the position of staffing, or to just be in front of somebody doing an interview, whether it be you interviewing or the person interviewing you, you definitely have to have self-confidence because you're pretty much selling yourself. You're pretty much selling yourself to the job, and like you mentioned, you're selling the company. You know what I mean? To see if this is a good fit for you. And I definitely want to be, part of a team where self-confidence is something that I can, take to the company and also build off of once I'm in the company.
Exactly.
So I love that. Now, does self-confidence affect image?
It does. And I'm gonna tell you, I think it does because image is what you see on the outside, right? I did not value me. I did not have the self-confidence that I need to have. I wouldn't have cared the way I came on this podcast today.
Okay.
I could have came out here with no makeup on and still been okay. I'm comfortable in the skin I'm in.
Yes.
I chose to put on makeup this morning or this afternoon rather because I did freshen up. So I did. I chose that, but you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when people have low self-esteem and low self-confidence, it's projected in a way. You have to look for it. It may not be their clothes or their appearance. It may be what they project out their mouth. It may be what they project out their heart. But you'll see it.
I think a lot of times too is people are just going through so much nowadays. People are really life is really hitting people hard, and I don't think that people take the time to put the extra oomph into what they look like. You know what I mean? They don't take the extra step to prepare themselves for the day or prepare themselves to go grocery shopping. And I can't tell you how many times I went to the grocery store or I went to go eat or something, more so grocery store. I don't really see it a lot of the times when I'm going to go eat, but how disappointed I am when I see certain people in certain things. You know what I mean? Because it's almost one of the things like they group us together. Does that make sense? Where everybody dresses like that because of what they look like. You know what I mean? Like that bothers me so much, and I'm just like, what I see from what I see your image looking like, that is a indication that that's what they think all of us are going to be dressing like, or what all of us look like. They kind of group us together, although it's an individuality. And it makes me think like, is it something that you may be going through? Is it a certain way that you feel? Is it that you just don't care what you look like? But it's almost like you got to put a little bit more pride into what you look like. And it's not even about
Oh
appeasing.
my God.
It's not even about appeasing anybody else. You know, it's about the self-respect you got for yourself.
For yourself. Listen, would have a fit, and I'm sorry, but my mother,
I'm telling
would
you,
have a fit. She would let us slick our hair back growing up.
Really?
Heck no. She said, listen, you gonna go out this house, you gonna look like something every time you go out of it.
I know that's
Get
right.
up, dress up, show up. You're not gonna just walk out this house looking any kind of way. Now, you know, that's what I tell my daughter. And that's what I tell my cheerleaders. Stop putting that bonnet on your head when we practicing. I don't care that we practicing. You ain't got, and if you need to have something on your hair, put a nice scarf on. You ain't got to put a bonnet on your head.
And there's so many cute ones out here.
Come on.
And stylish ones that you can, you know.
This
and
tickles
it's cute.
One of my girls.
I like that.
It tickles one of them because she's like, I love that look, Coach Shonda, but I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, and I teach her how to do it because she loves it. But at least she wants to look decent.
Yes.
She don't want to put a bonnet on. She wants to put something on her head that is going to look pretty and is going to hold her hair down while she cheers or while she's practicing. Great. I'm all for it. So, yeah, no, I preach that constantly. Zaria Jael will tell you.
Yep, absolutely. It bothers me. It bothers me. And then it's one of those sensitive topics that you can't really touch on because everybody has an opinion about it. You know what I mean? And then a lot of the ones that have an opinion about it may be the ones doing it. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And so I just know for me, you know, for Quanshay Broderick, I just know the way that I'm gonna leave the house. You know, I know that the representation I want for myself. I remember me and Lex did an episode where we were talking about it, and she was just telling me that you never know what your next opportunity is, how your next opportunity is going to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
And not only do you not know it, but you don't even know the type of person that it's going to come from. And so the way that you represent yourself on a daily, or the way that you represent yourself when you step out the door, shows a lot about the way you care about yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It shows a lot about how you take pride into your appearance. Let's not just have it be one of those things where I'm only going to dress up when I'm in a club. I'm only going to dress up when I'm going to a concert. I'm only going to dress up when it's my birthday because I want to be the baddest one in the club.
That's right, because I want to be baddie.
Like, okay. Like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I got a few bonnets. Okay, different colors, different patterns, but that's for the house.
Yes,
that's for the house.
And I watch how long I wear them. If I'm not laying down,
for real. No, for real, because my husband would be like, "Okay, so you didn't have this bonnet on since you woke up. Is we gonna do something with it?" I mean, sir, just got the fresh braid, you know. Like, nah. Even when it comes to him, I'm very cautious in my representation of myself as a wife. Because I still have to be, you know, the attractive and appealing, and you know.
That's right. Because
you know what
men
I mean?
are visual creatures.
Absolutely.
They're very visual. So what they see is what they crave.
Absolutely.
So there's that.
Yep. And that takes me to my next question. Does what your confidence on the outside affect what you feel on the inside?
I believe it does. I believe it does. I'm gonna tell you. I went. This is a funny story. I went dress shopping before we right after we got engaged. I was kind of like, you know, deciding which year we were going to get married and stuff. And so at that time it was going to be this year. It's next year now. Okay. And so I was dress shopping, and that's when I was a little bigger. A lot bigger. I hadn't even had the surgery yet. And so I remember trying these dresses on, and I felt gorgeous. Like, I really did. They were beautiful dresses, all that. But I started walking because it was one I loved. I started walking in the dress, and the lady was like, okay, for you to envision yourself in it, I want you to walk down like you're walking down the aisle. Shay, I walked down this aisle, and I look like a Oopa Loopa. Walking. Oh, wow. Just limping back and forth. And it was because of my knees. And my knees were always like that because of my weight. Totally different now.
Wow.
And so then when I was too tired to try on dresses. Like, my body was so heavy that it was hard for me to even try the dresses on. It was hard for me to like I was out
Be
of breath.
comfortable. Yeah.
All that stuff. Girl, I was not comfortable at all. Now I have not done that since, but I plan to soon. But I already know it's gonna be a difference. I walk different now. I'm beating everybody else in the grocery store going shopping.
I know that's right.
I'm walking faster than them, but it used to be a time where I was walking like I was it's that's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good. And so that reflected on the inside, and I felt that a lot. And that was one of the major reasons I made the decision to have the weight loss surgery, because what I was tired of was feeling like my body was weighing me down. I had all this energy on the inside that wanted to come out, but my body couldn't do it.
Right.
And so, yes, it does. It affects you hard, because if you're not confident about what you're feeling on the inside and the outside, they not gonna match.
Not at all. Not at all.
They're not gonna match.
And it'll definitely give the indication to someone else, because you can always one thing to look at somebody and see that they have confidence, and then it's another thing to see someone that doesn't have it or that's struggling with it, because they're a lot of the times they're closed up, you know what I mean? When they talk, they don't talk like they're confident, they don't talk like they are sure of themselves. And I know for me, and you can attest to this, Auntie, because you got 2 kids. So listen, when I got pregnant with son, I just knew I was gonna be the cutest pregnant woman ever. I was cute.
Come on.
But listen, the image that I had of myself, the way that like you said, the way that I knew I was gonna be being pregnant was a complete opposite of what I actually was. I was like, okay, well, shoot, I'm gonna be pregnant. I'm gonna get my little maternity clothes. I'm gonna get my little shoes. Couldn't put a shoe on. Feet was swollen.
Come on.
Couldn't fit some of the clothes because my stomach was growing.
Come on.
I was like, oh my gosh, couldn't really do a lot with my face because my face was just full. I was like, oh no, this is not okay. I just knew I was gonna be a baddie, being pregnant. And then it went from being that to just wearing sweatpants and t-shirts.
Come on.
And it took so much effort just to get dressed up.
Yes.
For Tam and RJ's engagement get together, for the engagement party. Auntie, I just knew I wanted to be cute that day. I was like, babe, it's been several months since I had a chance to put some real clothes on. So I'm going to make an effort to really show up, because it's a representation of me and you. And then I can't go out and then I represent us. So it took so much for me to put that on. I had to find something that was stretchy. The shoes I could only keep on for a little bit, because them feet was like biscuits that had busted open, and it was just bad. It was just really bad. And my husband looked at me. He was like, babe, you really look uncomfortable. I said, because I am. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it work. I look very uncomfortable. But I honestly believe that what you feel on the inside exudes on the outside. It really does. And you got to feed it.
It's okay to accommodate yourself to make you feel good.
I like that.
Meaning, you put on them shoes trying to be cute. But you should have been putting on shoes to make you comfortable and cute.
You listen
that way on the inside, you would have felt confident. Not as sexy.
You
as
absolutely
you wanted to be, but you got to remember where you was at that time, right?
Yeah.
It's like women walking in heels that they can't fit. That's what that's like.
Or that the heel is too high.
In before, or the heel is too high.
Yep. I got a certain heel cutoff. For me, it's 4 inches. And then, to be honest with you, Annie, I'm not that old. I'm still young, so I can still do a little heel or two. But I done got more comfortable in wedges because they hold my weight. I'm thick out here. It hold my weight better than the heel. Because if I'm going to give you the self-confidence that I have, I can't put on shoes that I feel like I'm self-confident in, but then out here looking crazy.
Yes.
Looking crazy.
And just a tip, try platforms too. That's a good one. Yeah.
The chunky heels.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I like them. So I got a few of them.
Stack. Yeah.
Yep. I got a few of them. I got some that's real strappy. Yep. Now the single heel, I gotta let that go.
No. Yeah. I gotta let it go. Do that every now and again.
Exactly. And more so, it's gonna be in the house. Well, only the husband see me.
There you go.
Listen, if I'm gonna get embarrassed, it's gonna be at the house.
Okay.
Period. Absolutely.
He's gonna love you anyway.
Okay. Now here's another question. What does lack of confidence affecting your personal life, your business life, and your social life?
Oh, good question. Personal life, it affects you. You know, I noticed when I was not confident with myself, and I was dealing with a lot before I divorced, that I was in my room a lot, and I wasn't raising my kids because I
Oh,
was
yeah.
depressed in my room, and so
Yeah.
all they remember being in my room. I remember the day I changed when I moved. And I was in the living room all the time. And me and Zaria and Zion would watch movies in the living room together. And I wasn't just confined to my room constantly. I was out because things were changing in me and I was different.
Yes. Yes.
That makes a big difference because who you are affects everybody around you, especially. And so your self-confidence is a part of that. Business wise, same. When I was heavier, I used to feel like I had to overcompensate because see, the thing that people don't understand
That's
is
good.
that attractive women, they get a little further.
Yeah.
They get a little, it just is what it is. I don't understand why that is, especially about sales. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. So if you look good, even if you are, you know, a thick girl, if you look good, then you good. So I overcompensated a lot. I could have wore jeans every day to my job. I would dress up. I was always in a dress. Because I was trying to make myself feel and look confident and pretty, right? You said business, home,
and social.
and girl social. Jesus. Okay. Child, listen, when I divorced, started like hitting the scene with some girlfriends and just going to like brunch and just, you know, live shows, live music shows and things like that. And I'm out there and I'm like, okay, am I cute? Am I not cute? Am I exuding cute? Am I showing it? What I learned was because I was so in my head and I really wasn't there just yet. It showed.
Yeah.
So nobody talks to you when you're not even confident in yourself. Everybody says this, and it might be like one of the cliche things to say, but the sexiest thing that you can wear is confidence. That's the sexiest thing you can put on your body. And if you got that on, it don't matter what you got on.
Okay.
It don't matter what you're doing. Somebody gonna come talk to you because somebody feels that. That's that energy that you want to give out. And so, yeah, when I started learning that, I was great. But honey, when I first got out there, I ain't know.
And I think self-confidence is one of them things that's unspoken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them things that you just, like you said, you just wear. It's one of them things that, I don't know, it's like a radar. It's like people can feel it from you. It's like a vibe
energy. It's a
type of thing.
vibe.
It is.
It's a vibe.
It's definitely like that because I can walk past you and be like, okay, sis, you cute. Come on, sis, and work it. You know what I mean? Because I see the strut. I see the outfit. I see the hair whipped. I see the nails popping. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the times, and I had to get to the point where I had to do it for me. You know what I mean? It's always been something I did for me, but I really do it for me. You know what I mean? It was one thing to have, you know, my spouse or my husband to say, "Oh, babe, that's cute. Oh, babe, I recognize that." But even if he don't, I'm like, okay, she cute still. Even if he don't, I'm still taking selfies. Okay, even if he don't, I'm still like, okay. Even if he does not, I still reassure myself that I got the self-confidence that I'm exuding, that it's on the inside, and this is what I want to, you know, give out on the outside. So he definitely be like, "Babe, I see you." Like, I know you do.
I know.
I know you do.
That's my fiance. That all day long, honey, he would tell you, "Oh yeah, I know." He will tell you he fine. Me, I have to balance it with humbleness. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that every now and again I don't be like, nah, don't get it twisted because I do know I'm pretty.
Okay.
However, I'm not gonna throw that on you.
Yeah.
But that's my self-confidence. Everybody wears it different.
True.
And that's what I'm learning. Everybody wears it different. So I admire that because every now and again I might need to pop out on you and be like, no, I know I'm fine.
Okay. Let them know because they didn't forget. Let them know. Okay. Yep. I'll be the first one to be like, yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. I know I'm cute. Thank you. Yes. I'll do it in a minute. With the quickness. Okay. Does confidence mean that you have self-doubt?
I believe everybody battles it. Some shape, form, fashion, time frame in your life, you're gonna battle self-doubt. Even in I think it's more situational. So
I agree
yes,
with that too. I agree with that too. I definitely
yeah.
feel like if it was not for life, if it was not for certain things that people go through, that their self confidence would be
Mm-hmm.
a thing that they wouldn't have to worry about. It would be a thing that they wouldn't
Yeah,
have to be so concerned about. But
yeah.
because we live in this thing called life, because we are human,
Mm-hmm.
we fall short. We go through things either by ourselves with someone else. It's
Yep.
always one of them things where, and I have to really pray and ask God to help me with self doubt, because I think we as people are really hard on ourselves. We really,
Oh
really
yeah.
are. We are
Oh
really our
yeah.
biggest critics, especially if it's something that we are really set on doing, if it's something that we really have our mind on. And it's one of them
Mm-hmm.
things where it's always us, reconsidering,
Absolutely.
rethinking, not really sure.
Rethinking.
Should I?
Yep.
I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Mm-hmm.
ask. And
Right.
then it's one thing to
Right.
feel self doubt with
Let me
yourself, but then
confirm. Yeah.
you confirming the
Yeah.
self doubt, because then you go talk to
Mm-hmm.
somebody that
Mm-hmm.
don't even want you to do it in the first place, or it's an idea that they may want to steal, or they
That's
may be
it.
battling with their own self confidence and they want the pity party
Come on.
with you. It's
Yep.
always one of
They
them
may be
things where
jealous of you because you
yes,
doing something that they ain't doing. So you gotta watch all of that. Because it
listen,
feeds into you and you
it
already dealing
absolutely
with whatever you're
does.
dealing with here. And then you go and you pull all that energy that they got going on
Uh-huh.
with that. You can't do that. You
Yep.
can't do that. I mean, it's enough to have your own self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out, I'm an analyzer. So I'll sit and figure out what my self-doubt is. How can I work through it? How do I, make this better for myself? My sister says I'm always trying to fix something, which I literally am. and I and I understand that I can't always fix it, but if I can, I'm gonna try to process through it. If I can't, then
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can't. It's just something that it is, and you go on about your business. But
Yeah,
because
I definitely agree
obviously
with
it's how
that.
the way God made you. So
Yeah, I agree with that. How does self confidence change, or not? Does how self confidence change? How does real self confidence? How is real self confidence created? I'll put it that way.
I think it's created by knowing who you are. Like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta really take time to just like that whole selfie story I told you. Like
Uh-huh.
I had it, but I didn't have it. I knew I was pretty. I knew I was, but at the same time, I lost me. So when you
Yeah.
lose that, you do have to recreate or create if you never had it. And you can't do it. But the creation is a process.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get to know yourself. You got to get to know your likes and your dislikes. You got to get to know your boundaries, your tolerance levels, about yourself and about other people, because
Absolutely.
all of that affects you in that building of the confidence that you want to have. So I think it's just a matter of just getting to know yourself. That's the creation process,
And
and getting to
and the
know who God said you are.
yes, and giving yourself grace as well. There's
Absolutely.
no time limit or time frame on creating self confidence. I think once that you're aware
Yeah.
of it, that's when you begin
Hmm.
to, when you're aware that it's either slipping or you don't have it, or you see someone else who's confident, you want to, kind of use as inspiration.
Emulate,
Uh
yes,
huh.
or inspire you. Yeah.
Yes, that's when you definitely know that it's time for you to, create your own or build from that.
Yeah.
Definitely build from
Yeah.
that. I like that. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
What's the biggest threat to your confidence?
Ooh, girl, myself. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it's me. I can be my own worst enemy with seeing. I promise you, I remember growing up. this is I'm being real transparent now, so yeah, this is exclusive.
Okay.
Growing up, I used to be really um self-conscious about light-skinned women. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm brown skinned, but I always saw the prettier girls who were lighter skin, fairer
Mm-hmm.
skin than me get the attention. And they always had pretty long hair or they were mixed
Yep.
or something of that nature, right? And so I was like, I'm not up to par. I'm not this. I'm not that. And I would talk myself my own beauty just
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't match what I saw across from me. And I didn't have to match that. So as I got older, that stayed with me, believe it or not.
Wow.
And everything. That stayed with me. And so I had to get to a point where it was like, Shonda, God made all of us beautiful and different. There is Black women that are light skinned. There's Black women that are this. There's like, we are in the UK, we are in Brazil, we everywhere.
Yes,
And it
yes.
doesn't matter if that person is different from you. We're all unique, and that's the blessing right there. And so I had to understand that I may not be somebody else's cup of tea, but I'm this person's cup of tea, or I'm this person's for me cup of tea. So it's okay, you know. But yeah, I'm my worst problem.
I love that. I love that. I think something else that's important too is having people in your life that speak that into you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
One thing that I love growing up is that my mom and my dad always spoke the things that were necessary in my growth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my dad always told me I was beautiful. My dad always told me I was pretty. My mom always made sure that I took pride in, my appearance. She made sure that, I took pride in, the way that I look when I step out the house and all that type of stuff. So as I got older, it stuck with me. As I got older, and even when I went through my divorce the first time, because we ain't doing this again.
No,
Period.
Lord.
Okay.
No.
We're not doing this again. But the first time, even with that, because self-confidence was built in me, does that make sense? Because it was, my foundation. Even when I went through what I went through, even though I wanted to deter from self-confidence, I wanted to, even though my light was a little bit dim, it still did not completely rip away my self-confidence because of the foundation that was laid from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I already knew that life was going to hit. Not knowing I was going to go through what I went through, but I knew that just being a person, just being human, you're going to go through life. Just being, a woman in general, there's certain things you're just going to go through. And because of that, self-confidence will, try to be destroyed.
It'll wait.
It will literally try to be destroyed. But because the
the
foundation was laid, and because I allowed myself to absorb what I was being taught, you know what I mean? And no matter what I went through, I still was able to rely on the self-confidence that started it all.
That's right.
And still,
I love that.
Yes, and still not allow what I was going through. Because listen, nobody knew what I was going through because I didn't let it show. Nobody knew what I was going through because I didn't look like I was going through a divorce. And that was rough.
Honey,
it was really, really rough. That was
wasn't
hard for
public,
me.
Because mine was a little public, and it was face. So I was
mine was public too.
Well, let me
mine was public too.
That was the thing. And that's the thing. It's like, you don't want people to see you down.
Yes, absolutely. Or to know what you got going on.
Or to know what you got.
Yeah.
That I had issues with that too. But mine was, I always wanted to look strong. That was my issue.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think that I'm fine. I'm handling it. I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Yep.
And when I started learning how to say, no, for real, I'm not okay.
Right.
No, for real, I'm not okay. And when I started actually saying that to myself, and then being like, okay, and not only am I not okay, I'm about to take time for myself, because I'm not going to be okay for you either.
Exactly.
Because I need to sit down.
Exactly.
I need to get myself together. I need to lay down and take a nap. Whatever it is that I need for self-care, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not okay. And it's okay for me not to be okay. And that affected my self-confidence, because when I try to be okay and I'm not, that messed with me. Psychologically, mentally, physically, any way you can think of it, that messed with me.
Yes.
My heart, girl, I was having all kind of issues.
Listen, Amy, it was really, 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 really rough. And then that's where that self-doubt comes in, because when you know that this is how it started off and this is where it ended, you know what I mean?
And then you got a walking ghost walking around, girl.
Yes. And then you're like, well, wait a minute now. Now I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of doing. I know who I was. Now I'm a completely different person. Like the same Quanshay I was then is not the same Quanshay I am now. But then it really started messing with your self-confidence. It'll start messing with your self-doubt. You'll start doubting that, should I be a wife again? Should I do this again? And then I had to quickly snap back, like, well, wait a minute, pause. Yes, I am. Just because he didn't recognize it don't mean somebody else won't. Just because he didn't appreciate it, don't mean nobody else won't. I said, come on, Shay, you girl, period, girl, come on. Now
Same.
listen,
That's what I meant by that damaged
listen.
good thing. I know what you talk. I know. I so feel you.
Yes,
So feel you.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm so glad that I had parents that took time to
Yeah.
instill self-confidence in me at an early age, not even knowing what I would have to battle with as an adult, but because they took
Yeah.
time to speak over my life and pray into my life and,
That's
you
right.
know, show me self-confidence, give me self-confidence.
Yeah.
It made it a little bit easier once I started going
Yeah.
through things in my life to not let it show,
That's
to
it.
have so much
That's
self-confidence in
it.
myself to not just go out the house looking any kind of way, you know,
That's
because it
it.
was instilled in me at an early age not to,
Come on.
you know, give you the satisfaction of knowing what
Mm-mm.
I'm going through because of the way that I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
that wasn't gonna happen. And if
Mm-mm.
you were, you know, lucky enough to be a person that was in my circle, I would let you
Come on.
in on
Yeah.
why my self-confidence is the way that it is, but
Right.
silently I'm really over here suffering.
Come on.
I'm really over here battling. I'm really over here going through it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really over here having it's
Mm-hmm.
challenging, you know. So if you
Mm-hmm.
were that close enough to me to know what I was going through, then you would really know. You out here really, you know, not looking like what you're going through. Because
Come
we
on.
know what it really is, but on the
Yes.
outside, nobody really knows what you're going through. And they didn't because I didn't let it show.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't gonna let
Mm-hmm.
it show.
No.
Nope, wasn't doing it. Absolutely not. Okay, so
Yeah, I
listen,
hear you.
Auntie, there are a couple women who I know we both can attest to that we really, really love
Yeah.
their confidence that they exude. Jill Scott is one of them. That's my girl. I love me some Jill
Yes, God.
Scott. If I
Yes,
ever get
we
the
share
chance, I want
that.
to see her in concert. I really, really
I
do.
did.
See, I'm
I
jealous.
saw her
I'm
for
jealous.
my birthday.
See,
My sister and I was divorced then too, girl. So it was like, girl, I cried at the
yes.
concert. I promise I did. I promise I did. My
I
me
love
and
Jill.
everywhere, and I'm telling you, it was like the
Yes.
most wonderful thing. And she was it was right before COVID hit real bad.
Oh wow.
And that was like the last concert I think that came through the city, one of the last. But
Yep.
yes, honey,
I love me
you
some Jill
got
Scott.
to.
Yes.
And you know she
Monique,
got a podcast too.
do she? I'm gonna have to check it out because I never knew that.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it.
Yes, please do. I never knew that. Monique is another one that I love. I know that people have mixed feelings about Monique, but I love Monique because even as
I
a
like
big
her.
woman, even as a plus size woman, she always had confidence. She could dress her
Yeah,
butt off.
yeah,
She talked
yeah,
confidently. She looked confidently.
yeah.
Now, that's not to say that she didn't battle with, you know, her own
Her
personal,
own problems,
yeah, her own
right?
personal flaws or things that she kind of dealt with because of her size or because of, you
Right.
know, being a celebrity and having to be in the public eye. I'm pretty sure there was some things that
Mm-hmm.
she battled or challenged, but you couldn't
Yep.
tell by looking at her. You couldn't
No.
tell that she was going through all of that by looking at her. And baby, she
Yeah.
was a bad one. Bad.
And
Okay.
still is.
Yes, and still bad. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
she is now, because she's lost some weight and she look good.
Yeah,
She
she
looks
does.
really, really good. She looks
She
really good.
does.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying she was unhealthy, but you can tell she's vibrant now.
And
You
she's
know what I mean?
vibrant.
She's
Yes.
she's moving around a
Yes.
little bit better. It's easier for her to, you
Mm-hmm.
know, kind of maneuver. And I'm pretty sure that she loves the way her clothes fit now and all of that.
Yeah.
So I love me
Yeah.
some Monique. I love me some Jill Scott. Another one was Jasmine Sullivan. She wasn't what they consider a BBW, but she was a little thicker than what
Yeah.
she is now. She was another one that I
Yeah.
really, really love. And the fact that she could
Yeah.
sing her face off,
Come on.
love it.
Yes, God.
Kelly Price was another one
Yeah.
that I really,
Yeah.
really love. Kelly Price is a good one.
Yeah.
And these are all women who are inspirational because of the limelight. And not because they're
Yeah.
just celebrities, but because of who they are as celebrities. That and
J Hud is another one.
yes, Lizzo, she's another one that I love. And I know
Lizzo is a
people
great one. Yeah.
have, you know, their mixed feelings about her because she doesn't really give you or she doesn't really play into the stigma of a big girl. What I should wear, what I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't wear, how I should look, what I shouldn't look
Right.
like. You know what I mean? And so the
Nope.
fact that she's exuding her
She
confidence the
makes
way
her
that she
own
wants
rules.
to,
That's right.
I love that. And she doesn't let
She's her
anybody play on it.
authentic self all day
Absolutely.
long. Yes.
Absolutely. And I love Lizzo. Whether it's a basketball
Yes.
game, whether she's performing, whether it's a video, whether it's, you
Right.
know, her doing something. And one thing I love that she did, and if you ever get a chance, check this out. It's on Prime where
I
she
watched it.
hosted a show for
I seen
background
it.
singers or background dancers.
Yes. Background dancers. I
All
loved
plus
it.
size girls. And baby,
Yes.
them girls was getting it,
Yes. It was
moving.
amazing. It
Loved it.
was
Absolutely
amazing.
loved it. I
It
absolutely
was
loved it.
so good.
Yes. This is my last question, 18. So,
Okay.
how do you keep your self-confidence?
Woo, girl. Like I said, daily process. Daily process.
Yes.
So I have to remember to number one, self-care, because that helps me. So little things like, I don't know, just pouring. I'm not even gonna name them all. Here's the thing: pour into yourself.
It's
You
good.
can't just say, okay, I got this confidence or whatever. You have to invest in yourself. Period. Whatever that means for you, whether it's going to get your nails done, your feet done, whether it's a new outfit, whether it's, you know, a new hairstyle, or
Mm-hmm.
simply reading a book or going to get a massage or whatever that is, you have to pour into yourself. And that pushes you to where you want to be. It helps you to continue to keep creating that authentic, self-confident woman
Yes.
that you want to be.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Self-care is at the top of my list when it comes to self-confidence. It's something I
Yes.
enjoy doing, no matter what that looks like for me. It's definitely something I'm going to continue to do. I have been doing and will continue to
You
do.
gotta do, especially
Even
as a
with
new
a
mama.
son.
You
Yes.
gotta do it. Yes.
Even with a son, I definitely will make room to
Yes.
make sure I keep that self-confidence going and, my self-care in order. Absolutely. I
That's
have
right.
to. Okay, so we're going to play a game before I let you go, okay?
Woo! Like
It's
Jamel Hill.
called
Okay.
it's called this or that. So I'm gonna give you some I guess you call them words or like little
Okay.
sentences or whatever, and you choose which one best fits your self-confidence or
Okay.
your self-care. Okay. So here
Okay.
we go. First one is, do you prefer heels or flats?
I prefer flats. I hate to admit
Really?
it, but I prefer. I walked much better as a big girl in flats, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm used to walking in flats. But now that I'm a little less,
Come on,
I
heels.
do like to put on a heel and every now and again.
Okay, come on,
Every now and
heels.
again. I need to go
Yes.
shopping though. I need to go shopping this time.
That's my self-care too. Yep. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Here's another one. Relaxer or natural?
Oh Lord. Well, up under all of this is a natural.
Okay.
However, if I ever wore, I don't. So I'm lazy, and I had to accept that about myself. So that's
Uh-huh.
why I like to wear hair
Uh-huh.
because I like for it to be cute. I got to get up. I'm a goer.
Yes.
I got stuff to do. I'm a mama of two, and
Right.
they
Right.
halfway grown, but still, I got too much going on in my life. I don't feel like doing my hair all the time.
Yes.
So if I had to choose, it would probably be relaxer only because I know how to handle that. I have really not done much to this
Uh-huh.
whatsoever. So yeah,
Natural is a lot. It
it
humbles you.
is.
It humbles you.
It makes you think about life in a different way.
I'm telling
I
you.
admire
Yep.
sister and all of them because I can't do it.
Yes.
But I
It
figure
yeah.
why wear relaxer when you always wearing like some kind of piece or something in your hair.
Uh-huh.
So I just figured to be natural would be easier. But girl, if this hair went on and I was with Shonda's hair, yeah, no.
Listen, natural is different. It'll humble you. I promise you that. It'll humble you. Okay. So weave or braids?
Girl weave.
Weave, even over
I like
braids?
the flow.
Really?
I love braids, but if I was gonna choose over,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it will always be weave for me.
Really? I love me a good braid.
The
Love me a good
softness. I
braid.
don't know what it is. Yes.
Really? And then you're the type of person that likes to switch your hair up too.
Yes.
So wearing braids, probably ain't gonna do it. Yeah.
I like them, but I ain't go. And if I'm wearing them, it's probably for a particular reason, a particular season,
Uh-huh.
and I can wear them for a while, right? But
Right.
I wear my hairstyles for so long. Yeah. So that's yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, comedy movies or romance movies?
Can I say rom com?
Really? You into rom-com? I didn't
I
know that.
like rom coms. Yes.
Wow.
I like both. So I'm like gonna choose probably always watch a romance movie.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, if it's a rom com, I'm all for it.
That's a good one. It's definitely some good ones out there. I got my
Yeah.
top 3, 4, 5, maybe. Okay, dress or pants?
Dress.
Okay.
Crazy, huh? I love a dress.
Really? Huh.
Love a dress.
Lipstick or lip gloss?
Lip gloss. But I like lipstick, but lip gloss. That's my go-to.
Okay. Now, what about this? A full face or a natural bead?
Natural bead. If I was gonna, if you talking about everyday wear,
Uh-huh.
natural.
Natural bead.
Natural bead.
A sundress or
As
a
in
maxi dress?
now. Maxi dress. But I think they're about the same.
Really? I don't know why, but maxi dresses give me balloon kind of style because I feel like they are more,
Because they're more flowy.
yeah. And sundresses to me are
So,
more fitted.
well, I'm working on that because see, I'm just not getting used to this body. So I can do a sundress now where I hadn't. But yeah, I'm so used to maxi dresses that was like the first word that came out my mouth
Yeah,
because
that's the
that's all
go-to.
I used to ever wear. Yeah. But
Yeah,
they're so comfortable, so I'll probably
I'm
say
sure.
maxi dress.
Because sundresses give
Yeah.
me more fit. You know what I mean? They give me
Mm-hmm.
more hug to your
Yeah, they're
body.
showing off everything. Yeah.
They are. So
All the good stuff.
it's sundress for me.
Right.
Maxi, I think it'll swallow me because I'm little. And
That's
they
true.
real long. They really long.
That's true.
Okay,
That's
now what
true.
about this? Pantyhose or bare legs?
Ooh, bare legs. I'm so sick of them pennies. Ooh, Lord. Auntie.
Us
If
growing
you
up in
was
the church
raised,
house,
yes, God.
first
Any day I
Sundays.
cannot wear them.
Oh my gosh, the
Mm-hmm.
first Sundays when the
Mm-hmm.
choir got to sing, we need you to be in full uniform. So that means
Mm-hmm.
pantyhose too? Oh man.
Yes. And you
In the
spank.
summertime too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
I
don't
just
even
had to
like wearing them in
reflect
the
for a minute.
wintertime.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I
Ooh,
think
child.
pantyhose are really played out, to be honest.
I think they are because they won't sell them no more. Because every time I try to find them,
Yep.
nowhere
Because you
to
know
be
what's
found.
in? They swiped out the pantyhose for the fishnets.
And the tights.
Uh-huh. And the tights. Yep. Sure did. So I got me a couple fishnets. I'll wear those every once in a blue moon. But pantyhose, I had to let them go. Okay, a staycation or a vacation?
Uh, Based off my life right now, I need a vacation. So I'm going to say vay.
Yes. Love me a good vacation. Shorts or skirts?
Oh, okay, Shay. I haven't worn shorts in forever.
Okay, so you got to get
So
you a
I'm
pair.
gonna say skirts.
When you go shopping, you got to get you a pair.
But it's time for me to transition. I just gotta see where I'm at.
Absolutely. Okay, that'll work. Tennis shoes or sandals?
Sandals.
I love me a
I
cute
like
sandal.
sandals.
Yep, I
I
love me
love
a
a
cute
cute
sandal.
sandal.
I have maybe 6 pair of tennis shoes.
Really?
Yes, I am not a tennis shoe girl. The rest
I'm
of my
not either.
closet is sandals, heels, wedges,
Same.
flats. Yep, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. A little strappy, little dewy thing. Yep,
Come on.
something like
Yeah,
that. Tennis shoes.
I like a tennis shoe, but I just don't even know how to dress in a tennis shoe. Like for real.
See
I mean,
there, see.
with my leggings, but
And even
when
then, you
I'm
like
working
this don't
out,
look right. I gotta put something else on.
yeah, I don't feel
Yep,
right. Yep.
yep. All the tennis shoes I own,
Too
my husband
girly.
has bought them. All of them. Yep. All the tennis shoes I've owned or do own currently. Yep. He bought
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yep.
I
Well,
hear
Auntie Shonda, it has been a pleasure having you at the
Same.
lounge today. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to just come and have a conversation with me about self-confidence. No other person I would have rather had this conversation with than you. Because when I look at you, that's
Oh,
exactly what I see. It's self-confidence. Your journey is amazing. You and I have similarities in certain areas, but I am just amazed at what God is doing in your life. I'm so excited
thank
for,
you.
what's to come. Please let the people know where they can follow you at.
So you could first of all, before I say all that, thank you so very much for
Absolutely.
having me. I am so excited, honored, all that. My niece, my baby, I love you so much.
Yes, I love you too.
So y'all can follow me at InspiraShon. I'm on Instagram as it's spelled Inspira, SHON. So
Okay.
Inspira, like INSIRA, capital SON. It's a play off my name. So you can follow me there. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm on all of those socials. And if you want to email me or say anything, I believe it's inspirationkc.com. I mean at gmail.com.
Okay.
So that's
Awesome.
me.
And if you are wanting to get a little bit more in-depth detail on my auntie's surgery, please head over to her YouTube channel, InspiraShon, and you will get all the exclusive info on her surgery.
Yes.
She looks amazing. She is still on her journey. She has not yet made it to where she wants to be, but she is definitely on her way. But
Almost
go
there.
over there, head over there, check out all the videos of her giving you details and all of that good stuff. Auntie, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This will not be the first or last time that you will be invited
Yay!
to the lounge. So thank you so much. I love you. Y'all
Cool.
already
I love
know.
you.
Follow me on all socials. You can find me wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm on all that. I'm on Pandora. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Castbox. I'm on all that. So if you're looking for the
Yeah.
Queen's Lounge, you can find me on that. All right. Thank you so much, AT. I love you. And I'll holler at y'all
Love
later.
you too.
Peace.
All right.